Having detected the occupiers in the Svatove direction, the border guards worked on the target and destroyed the invaders' mortar. Losses of manpower are being investigated. In August this year, the occupiers tried to break through to the positions of the 5th Separate Assault Brigade near Avdiivka, Donetsk region. Now a video has appeared. The Russians stormed the Ukrainian positions with a column of armored vehicles, but thanks to the coordinated actions of the Ukrainian soldiers, the enemy armored group was destroyed. According to the soldiers themselves, each unit of destroyed enemy equipment is the result of the hard work of professional artillerymen, UV operators and gunners who risk their lives every day to bring victory closer. Russian occupation forces in the Avdiivka sector continue to try to surround the city of Avdiivka. Ukrainian defense forces are holding the line, inflicting significant losses on the occupiers. The enemy is trying to send very large forces using armored vehicles and personnel. The Russians are constantly trying to take Ukrainian positions with meaty assaults. They are throwing all their strength behind it. However, their assaults are like banging your head against a concrete wall. This footage shows soldiers of the 125th Separate Territorial Defense Brigade of the Armed Forces of Ukraine destroying an enemy dugout with a crew. Enemy Russian equipment is destroyed on a regular basis as soon as it comes into sight of Ukrainian defenders. The occupiers are trying again and again to test the resilience of the defense of the paratroopers of the 79th Separate Airborne Assault Brigade of the Air Assault Forces of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, who are performing combat missions in Donetsk region. At dawn, the Russian occupiers began an assault on the positions of the Maroon Berets from Mykolaiv. To achieve the effect of complete surprise, the enemy used smoke. However, intelligence spotted the advance of the enemy column in time, and the paratroopers' artillery began to fire on the enemy. When the enemy approached the required distance, anti-tank gunners entered the battle and began to burn the occupiers' equipment with accurate fire from anti-tank missile systems. In this battle, the paratroopers also actively used kamikaze drones and unmanned aerial vehicles with munitions. As a result, 5 enemy tanks and 4 infantry fighting vehicles, as well as 24 infantry soldiers were destroyed. The soldiers of the 72nd Separate Mechanized Brigade, named after the Black Cossacks, are turning the sky over Volodar into hell for the Russian occupiers every day. Another Russian infantry fighting vehicle was added to the collection of scrap metal. Soldiers of the Special Forces Unit of the Defense Intelligence of Ukraine, ARTIN, destroyed a Russian tank in one of the hottest spots of the front line. The scouts burned down the enemy armored vehicles while repelling an attempt of Russian invaders to storm Ukrainian positions. The artillerymen of the 40th Air Assault Brigade continue to knock out and destroy the enemy's potential, both in terms of manpower and equipment. In the area of Rabotino, which is in the Zaporizhzhia region, our attackers not only repulsed the enemy position, but also gave a light to the Russians. 5 escaped, 3 became fertilizer, 2 replenished the exchange fund. A lot of Russian military equipment was destroyed in the Zaporizhzhia sector. Here, the occupiers are trying to regain their lost ground, but are not succeeding. Natalia Humeniuk, head of the Joint Coordination Press Center of the Defense and Security Forces of the South, noted that successful actions of the Ukrainian military in the Zaporizhzhia sector could create preconditions for the deoccupation of the Kherson region. In this case, the armed forces of Ukraine will not need to force the Dnipro River. Accordingly, the military contingent of the occupation forces concentrated on the left bank is actually under the threat of operational encirclement.